Trish from Tap HR here, just with a quick video on how much it costs to have a HR consultant. So this is a question that I get asked quite a bit, and I try and be as transparent as I possibly can be on my website so that it's clear what I charge, but I think it's important to just explain how HR consultants come up with the rates that they charge. So if you're new to my channel, fabulous, welcome, it's great to have you. If you would like to, it would be great if you could like and subscribe to the channel, and also if there are any topics that you would like me to cover, feel free to pop those down in the comments so that I can hopefully cover some extra content for you. So how much do HR consultants cost? I'll give you the fluffy HR answer, which is it kind of depends. It depends on the type of person or the type of skill that you need within your organisation. So the way that I usually liken it and explain it to people is if you were buying a car, there are various different things that you would look for when you were buying a car. And it's the same when you're looking for a HR consultant. There are various different skills and experience that you'll look for depending on your needs. So if you start off with your kind of your bog standard model, if you're buying a car, you might be looking for something that will take you from A to B and get you there quickly and reliable, but doesn't necessarily have all of the extra bells and whistles that you want. In that example, kind of liking that to HR consultant, you might just need a consultant that can handle all the basic things for you, keep your organisation ticking over, can't necessarily do any of the difficult project work that you might have, but can definitely keep a bog standard HR department ticking over for you. So there are consultants that will be able to do that for you. Obviously, then there's the upgrade. So if you're thinking about a car, there are cars that have probably got some extra bells and whistles, maybe a heated steering wheel, a little bit of something extra that will still get you from A to B, still do a good job, but they're an upgrade on that previous model that we talked about. And similarly with HR consultants, again, you might find somebody who has some extra skills, maybe has done a little bit of management in the past, can still keep your organisation ticking over, but also might have a little bit of project knowledge that can help you. So if I was thinking about how that would apply to kind of HR job titles within industry, with your kind of more reliable model, I would say that's kind of your HR advisor level, and with your upgrade, I would probably say that's somebody who is more of a HR business partner, maybe previously been a HR manager, someone that's got more kind of breadth and depth of knowledge that can help support you in your organisation. The third one I would say is your super kind of Rolls Royce, has everything that you need, plus probably has got wings, but that model of car that does absolutely everything that you want and more, and is kind of pushing the boundaries in terms of kind of technology and that kind of thing. And that can again be likened to HR consultants. So I would say that at that level, you're looking at someone who's probably previously been a HR director, somebody who's been involved with HR strategy, somebody that's got experience of coaching not only managers but leaders, and somebody that's kind of just got even more breadth and depth of knowledge than kind of we spoke about previously. But then equally on top of that, I think you've got your specialist models. So if you're thinking about cars, you've got people who collect particular types of cars, or you have cars that are very kind of specialised for certain terrain. The same can be kind of likened within the HR industry. So you could have a HR consultant that's got very specialist knowledge, so somebody who has experience in mergers and acquisitions, for example, somebody who is a TUPE specialist, for example, somebody who specialises in HR information systems, so HRIS systems, and people in that industry usually specialise in a particular system. So you can kind of really kind of go quite niche in terms of the type of HR experience and knowledge that you need. And obviously you can utilise various different HR consultants. There's lots of us out there who can provide those different levels of kind of experience and support for you. And equally, obviously, as well as there being independent HR consultants out there, there are obviously kind of the big players out there who do much more kind of high volume HR work. Usually they'll combine that with maybe a little bit of health and safety work as well, but they are out there and they provide a level of service that works for some organisations, but equally your HR consultants are able to probably provide you with a bit more of a personalised service, and equally you're probably going to find, and I say probably, with HR independent consultants, they typically have got different levels of experience and they've been in different industries and can bring kind of a different kind of level of view and vision to your organisation. So the nitty gritty stuff, how much do HR consultants cost? And again, I feel like I say this a lot, it kind of depends. Usually a HR consultant will charge you on either a day rate or an hourly rate, depending on what it is that you want them to do. But equally, myself and kind of other HR consultants might offer you a retained service, so you can pay a monthly fee and you'll be able to contact someone like me on a regular basis, and I'll be or will be your kind of HR consultant on a virtual basis, your virtual HR team. So cost-wise, I would say, kind of thinking back to those various different stages or levels of experience that I gave you, you're probably looking on a day rate basis, anywhere from about £300 to, you know, for the top dollar consultants, maybe even like £1,000 a day. That's quite a lot. And hourly rates obviously will correspond to those kind of day rates that I've given you too. So I think, you know, again, you've got to think about what it is that you need as an organisation, and also you've got to think about what you're willing to pay cost-wise and what you're happy to pay cost-wise, because for some organisations that top level probably isn't going to be achievable for you, but you've got to find that balance between how much a consultant's going to cost and what it is that you actually need. I mean, another top tip from me is when you're going into an organisation, going into a relationship with a HR consultant, I think it's really important to make sure that relationship works. If you're going to have somebody come in who deals with your people, who I would see as, you know, an organisation's most precious asset, you need to make sure that that people person is the kind of people person that you want. So most HR consultants will offer you some sort of a free consultation process. If they offer you some sort of a free health check, that's great, because you can see whether or not there are any kind of gaps in terms of your current HR provision. But also I would say use that free consultation period so that you can kind of really get a feel for that individual, kind of see where they're coming from, get an understanding of their overall experience, and just make sure that that's someone that you feel like you could go to when you have HR issues. Because inevitably, and obviously not always, but inevitably HR are drafted in at times when things have gone wrong, and you need to know that that person that you're picking up the phone to or you're on a video call with is someone that's approachable, you know, someone that is going to understand you and your business, and someone that you feel you can talk to. So I think that relationship piece is really, really important when it comes to choosing a HR consultant. So we've covered off how much it costs. We've talked a little bit about how to choose a HR consultant, or about the various different ones available. And we've talked a little bit more about kind of free trials and things like that, and how they can help you. I think my other tip would be, you know, if you're able to, be really clear about what it is that you need. And go into those conversations with HR consultants knowing what you're looking for. But equally, I totally understand that, you know, for some people, some organisations, you might be taking on your first employee and you might not know what it is that you need. So, you know, that is not always as easy a thing to do. But if you can go in kind of knowing what you need, I think that's really, really helpful and will be really useful for you. And obviously shop around. I think, you know, whilst I would always want clients to come to me and work for me, I think, you know what, have a bit of a look around, have a chat with a couple of consultants and see what works for you. And if I'm the consultant for you, happy days, amazing. But if I'm not, you know, then at least you would have, you know, you've had a look around and you've seen what's available and what's out there. So hopefully that provides you with a little bit more information on kind of what it costs to have a HR consultant within your business, and also a few kind of handy tips in terms of how to choose one. If you want any help, advice, guidance at all from me, feel free to get in touch via hi@taphr.co.uk. Alternatively, you can always have a look on our website. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great day.